Okay, now I want to go down the line of the front dwarfs because these are a little bit more advanced. The second most advanced of all of the ones I've planted. The first is Big Green Dwarf. We hope to release this soon. It's essentially a dwarf version of Cherokee Green, and pretty good fruit size and a lot of open flowers. This is another selection of Werekai that I'm testing out. Looks great. No open blossoms yet, but it will be soon. Here's Fred's Tie-Dye. Relatively tall for a dwarf. And we have open flowers. Dwarf Russian Swirl. You can see the blossom in there. This is from the Dopey line. It's another that will be relatively tall. And we have here Baronia from the Happy line that should be ready soon, if not this year. And this is pretty heavy yielding Baronia typically, and pretty large fruited. This is Dwarf Pink Passion, and just it's amazing. The nosy line is taller, typically speaking. It's right there with the sneezies, but look at the flowers. These nosies just fruit like crazy. Probably one of the heaviest yielding dwarfs for me last year, and there's a fruit. There's a couple of fruit that are forming here. Still have the flowers attached. You can't quite see the heart shape. Here we have Uluru Ochre, and what I find interesting is this seems a little taller than the selection I grew last year, but it's putting out some nice clusters and the flowers are just about open. This is Sean's Yellow Dwarf, and I found the woody line tends to be a little more compact and like to shoot the flowers out the top. We've got open flowers everywhere on those. Another woody, Kangaroo Paw Yellow. This should be setting fruit any day. We've got open flowers pretty close to the bottom of the plant. This looks like another of the nosy line, Lemon Ice. You can see the height and how it's putting the flowers out right through the top. If we looked hard enough, we could probably find some fruit set. There it is. That one in there is set, but it's still small. Next to it is Chocolate Champion. This is a partner variety to Big Green Dwarf out of the same line, which is cheeky, and we have open flowers, and we should see some fruit set very soon. This is Kangaroo Paw Brown. I could tell this was a woody by the relative squatness of the plant. We have open flowers. We should have fruit set very soon. This Bundaberg Rumball has the characteristic foliage of the Grumpy line, as I described before, kind of almost a curly look. And there's a nice flower cluster in there. This will probably be quite early. Loxton Lad has open flowers right in here. And Loxton Lass growing next to it. These are both from the Rosy line. The flowers are just forming at the top, so I think Lad is going to come in first. And then the largest dwarf that I have that's set fruit right now is Golden Heart, another of the Nosy line. I'll come around to see if we can find that a developing tomato. There it is, right in here. So that will probably be my first ripe dwarf this year, will be a Dwarf Golden Heart. And next to it, looks like another of the woody line, Kangaroo Paw Green. And there's the first flower cluster that's forming in there. And finally we've got, I think this is Chocolate Lightning from the Beauty line. I love this variety. It's kind of a chocolate color with stripes. And it's also a fairly tall variety and a little bit on the later side. And in fact, we're just starting to form some blossoms on the top. So we've now done 2 sets of the dwarfs, and we'll do the other 3 rows once I recharge my camera.